9 seconds.
Welcome back to Popcorn Time. Today we'll be covering 10 of the most brutal action movies currently streaming on Netflix, as chosen by our editor. Number 10. The Old Guard. This dark and thrilling superhero movie follows a team of immortal mercenaries with regeneration powers, led by Andromache of Scythia, played by Charlize Theron.
Who are you? I lead a group of immortals. An army, I guess. Soldiers, fighters like you. Look.
The team takes on a mission from the CIA, agreeing to rescue a group of kidnapped girls in Sudan. This turns out to be a setup and the group is killed.
I've been here before. Over and over again, and each time the same question. Is this it? Will this time be the one? And each time the same answer. And I'm just so tired of it.
Now, the CIA has video footage of them regenerating, and the Old Guard is caught up in a dark web of international espionage. The Old Guard features tons of exciting hand-to-hand combat sequences and some killer shootouts. Since they've been alive for thousands of years, these heroes have some super compelling lore too. This is definitely one to watch if you're a fan of superhero films that are as thoughtful as they are bloody. Number 9. The Harder They Fall. Based on the lives of real 19th century outlaws in the Wild West, The Harder They Fall is one of the only westerns to have an all-black cast. This is one brutal revenge story. When he's 11 years old, Nat Love sees his parents murdered by Rufus Buck and one of the members of his gang. 20 years later, Nat is ready for vengeance. He and his gang spend the rest of the movie chasing down Rufus Buck, who has been terrorizing the people in the area for decades. It's a thrilling cat and mouse game that'll keep you on the edge of your seat and may even tug at your heartstrings.
You're rude. I might actually enjoy inflicting violence on you. But who knows? Maybe you'll win. Let's see. See my point?
Number 8. Equalizer III. In the Equalizer trilogy, the legendary Denzel Washington plays a Robin Hood figure, the ex-CIA agent Robert McCall. When we catch up with Robert, he's in the process of killing an Italian gangster responsible for stealing a huge sum of money.
9 seconds. That's what you have to decide your fate. 9 seconds.
As Robert is leaving with the recovered money, he's shot in the back. A local cop rescues him and takes him to a village on the Amalfi Coast. As Robert spends time in this village, he falls in love with the people and the lifestyle. But this peace doesn't last for long, since Robert quickly becomes aware that a mafia organization called the Camorra is threatening the town and decides to take matters into his own hands.
That's the median nerve that I'm compressing. On a scale from 1 to 10, that's a 2. That's a 3. You don't want me to go to 4. I go to 4, you shit on yourself. You don't want that. I don't want that. They don't want that.
Number 7. The Foreigner. This gritty political thriller stars two of the most iconic leading men to grace the action genre, Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. Chan plays Quan, a Vietnam veteran and father who runs a restaurant in London. When his teenage daughter is killed in a bombing orchestrated by an offshoot of the IRA, he heads across the sea to the Emerald Isle in order to investigate. He meets with Liam Hennessy, Pierce Brosnan, a prominent Sinn Féin politician with an IRA past.
Mr. Hennessy, please find out the names of the bombers.
I work for the government, not terrorists.
You used to work for them.
I don't know who the bombers are.
I don't believe in you.
When Hennessy doesn't help Quan creates and detonates a bomb in Hennessy's building, setting off a chain of events in which the two men's pasts collide. with explosive results.
You come to my office and plant a fucking bomb?
Have you changed your mind?
Are you out of your fucking tree? You have no idea who you're dealing with, but you'll soon find out.
Give me the names.
We'll set...
Number 6. Extraction 2. Tyler Rake lives on the edge in the Extraction movies. Extraction 2 begins with Chris Hemsworth's mercenary protagonist in a coma after the mission in the first film nearly killed him. Eventually, he awakes and slowly regains his health. Several months later, he is still recovering in a remote cabin in Austria when he's approached by a stranger about taking on a new mission. An incarcerated Georgian crime boss's wife and children are trapped in prison with him, and the wife wants out. So another mission begins, and Tyler's extraction team sets out to free this family. But all is not what it seems, as the son idolizes his criminal father and works against Tyler, making this mission far more complex than it initially seemed. Number 5. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. This is the harrowing dramatization of 6 real soldiers fighting to defend 2 American diplomatic buildings from Libyan militants during the 2012 Benghazi attacks.
Just another Tuesday night in Benghazi.
After the overthrow of Gaddafi, Libya was in political and social turmoil. In spite of this atmosphere, U.S. Ambassador John Stevens comes to Benghazi to maintain diplomatic relations. A new military contractor, Jack Silva, also arrives in the city. On the 11th anniversary of 9/11, Stevens notices some suspicious men taking pictures of the embassy. That very night, militants attack the embassy and the CIA annex nearby.
None of you have to go. But we are the only help they have.
What follows is the valiant struggle of these men to defend American diplomacy.
Libyan visa. Official.
Pull over for inspection.
Sorry, sir, I can't do that.
Pull over for inspection!
How willing are you to die for your country? I'm ready to go right here, right now.
Number 4. Baby Driver. Super stylized and highly entertaining, Baby Driver is the story of a getaway driver nicknamed Baby who constantly listens to music to drown out his tinnitus.
Oh, I got different iPods for different days and moods.
Oh, and you're in a pink and glittery mood.
I am now.
What is your name?
Baby.
Wait, what? Your name's Baby. B-A-B-Y, Baby.
In between jobs, he cares for his deaf foster father and begins dating Deborah, a waitress. After a robbery goes wrong, Baby decides that since he's paid his debt to Doc, his kingpin boss, he will quit his life of crime and deliver pizzas instead.
In this business, the moment you catch feelings is the moment you catch a bullet.
But he isn't able to stay away from the underworld for long. Doc coerces Baby into participating in one last heist, and things quickly spiral out of control from there, as Deborah becomes involved. This movie is an absolute must-watch for the soundtrack alone.
And that's what makes him the best.
Number 3. Mad Max Fury Road. A post-apocalyptic chase movie decades in the making, Mad Max Fury Road is a sequel to the previous Mad Max films, but one that stands incredibly well on its own. Max is captured by a cult leader named Immortan Joe and forced to give blood to one of his war boys. Joe tells his lieutenant Furiosa to go out in the war rig, a massive heavily equipped tanker truck, and trade resources with their allies. But Joe's 5 wives escape in the war rig instead, incurring Joe's wrath.
Back to the Citadel! They know it's undefended!
He summons his army, and an epic chase across the desert wasteland begins. Number 2. Old Boy. For 15 years, Oh Dae-soo was held prisoner in a locked hotel room with no human contact, exclusively eating takeout food slipped through a doggy door and entertained only by television. Through a news broadcast, he learns that his wife has been murdered, and he has been framed for it. The experience nearly drives him mad, until he's drugged and released onto a rooftop just as suddenly as his initial kidnapping. After learning his daughter was adopted and moved abroad while he was imprisoned, Dae-soo decides to focus on finding his captors instead. There's a reason this gruesome revenge thriller is often cited as one of the greatest movies of all time. Number 1. Inglorious Bastards. The chilling opening of Inglorious Bastards depicts Nazi officer Hans Landa in the French countryside interrogating a farmer about the whereabouts of a fugitive Jewish family.
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
Yes.
The family is found, and all but a girl named Shoshana are killed. Years later, Lieutenant Aldo Rain assembles a special unit of Jewish American soldiers called the Bastards. These men go around brutally killing and scalping Nazis in France, creating fear within their ranks.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I need me 8 soldiers. We're gonna be dropped into France dressed as civilians. We're gonna be doing one thing only. Killing Nazis.
Yes, sir!
When these two stories come together, it is a sight to behold. Who among us hasn't wished to rewrite history? Inglorious Bastards gleefully presents an alternative version of World War II that will both shock and delight.
Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps. And I want my scalps.
Are there any action movies on Netflix you love that we missed? Or any that you hope to see on Netflix soon? Share with us in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you love this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification for more videos like this one.